The idea that Obama is somebody who's going to come in and exercise real authority when he's obviously been chosen and given everything that he's got by these financiers.
Presidents are now little more than corporate pitchmen who take all the political heat, while the controllers remain in the shadows, safe from public scrutiny. Hip-hop icon KRS-One is not just known for selling millions of albums. He has led a tireless crusade against youth violence and has been a strong voice for human rights.
If they controlled it before, what makes you think they're not controlling it now? The country was on a verge of revolution. They threw a black man up. Now we like this.
They give him the money. Than McCain. He's the maximum puppet that we've had certainly since Jimmy Carter.
They put a black face on the New World Order, and now we all happy. KRS ain't buying it.
In the real executive power structure, the president serves the military-industrial complex. It's self-owned by the international bankers. If there's a revolution, the population just throws out the prime minister or president. The elite stays in power, because the public is never aware of who the real enemy is. In Evian, France in 1991, standing before the Bilderberg Group, the apex of the world government power structure, David Rockefeller defined the New World Order as a system of world...
Even have elected officials making threats to put people in jail if they criticize Obama in public. All of this is the mark of a puppet. And that means that he is a puppet, actually more of a puppet than anybody else, more of a puppet than Mrs. Clinton would have been, even more of a puppet than McCain. He's the maximum puppet that we've had certainly since Jimmy Carter.
They put a black face on the New World Order, and now we all happy. KRS ain't buying it.
In the real executive power structure, the president serves the military-industrial complex.
About myth. It's about people who grew up who never knew. It's about people who don't know what swag is. It's about cornering the market with meth and blocking out the weed. They know that the meth is going to last longer. They know that you're not going to be able to get your 8 hours of rest at night. Sleep deprivation is going to do to them because meth doesn't make you overdose. You're going to lose your mind and you're going to go crazy. You're going to think that fucking is nuts. Good, in a good way. You're going to end the goddamn world twice if you do that. That's what KRS One is trying to tell you. It's not about he dislikes Obama. It's about they want to smudge KRS One's appearance whenever he talks by putting Obama's poster on the white man's myth logo without saying that. If let's just say that some people want to listen to Motown and smoke a cigar. Let's say they might want to put armor all on their tires and let the top down. Let's say that they might like a little bit of bang in their trunk to beat the chrome buckles off of. That might be fun if you can do it, you know, on the beach or whatever. But what if you decide to try to slide a merge with what appeals, which would be mild appeals. And so when you put a logo that says hip, slick, and too cool for America, that's appealing. It makes you wonder. It makes you start saying, oh, this is different than Bush. This is different because Kanye said George Bush does not like black people. So we were like, okay, yeah. I wonder what we're gonna, receive out of this. And but we saw those Netflix shows about meth. And when we saw a black man stick his hand into a duffel bag filled with meth, first thing that crossed our mind was he didn't have latex gloves on. It soaks through your skin, he'll be higher than shit. Talking about this and that in the streets before you know it. I didn't see no Narcans unless they cooked it into a meth, but I don't know. But that was the whole duffel bag, which means that's too much money. That's too much meth for you to just stick your hands in it like that without latex gloves and then just not be fucking high. So really that had to be prop meth for a black man to have it in the first place. Because if you remember right, Chopper was cooking it. So if Chopper was cooking it, and it's a white man's drug, because it makes you hate shit, well, what the fuck is a black man doing with his hands in it on Netflix? Okay, so we already saw on YouTube how to sell drugs with the sour diesel and everything else and getting the 60 stacks a week. Okay, so we're down with that. So we're like, okay, yeah, that's going to cure cancer. And you're going to get 60 large every week in real life. But we know that that other video about Frisco is next to the one about meth with the gay guy who wants to he gets $1,000 mailed to him, Bitcoin or whatever, for him to act out with his leatherettes or whatever. And so they start thinking that's a pitch for safeness, but the meth eats you up. It turns you into a wacko. Okay, so that shit only lasts so long, and so the motherfuckers that don't use, they just wait you out. And if you don't go underground and join shit and hide and live on it, then it'll just eat you up. And they'll just wait you out. So the point to the conversation is, if you're young and you're not understanding what life is like without weed, what life is like with weed, then you need to fucking find out. And that's what I'm telling you. Weed makes $21.57 billion a year by the year 2100. Currently at $6.57 billion a year. Now, you can still do all of your performing acts or whatever that you would like to do. But the catch is, weed is so good that it will knock your goddamn dick into the dirt, even by eating a brownie. So you have to know that. You have to understand that, and you have to go in. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to make you wreck your car. But it might be enough for somebody else, like a wolf in sheep's clothing, to maybe try and slide the merge one day at a party or something. And this is where you have to be strong enough to understand reason and rational thinking, which would mean you got to stay away from the meth, and you can't take your hand off the lid of your glass, because somebody could do something, drop something in there. So if they do that, see, I always grew up not knowing what the fuck they're going to drop in there. I spent 30, 40 years growing up. I'm almost 45 right now. But I could run a 4.40 on my best day. 4.9 today with a hurt leg. I crawled 220 pounds 20 times. And I can do the splits. So, and I'm a skinny guy. But there's been some months, I don't want to talk about it. It's done with a vacuum cleaner called Lipo. And it'll just ruin doctors. But anyways, check this out. Don't fuck with meth. Cannabis is the future, and don't let somebody tell you that the weed is too strong, that this will help you. Don't do that. It's been proven that you will not get any rust on meth, and if you do, don't let them tell you that it's because of the Narcan that you don't wig out. Oh, Narcan will help you. You won't wig out, whatever. But what they're not telling you is that fentanyl will kill you deader than shit, and that's what they're cutting it up with. So if they don't give you Narcan, you'll fucking die, nigga. So whatever. Don't do it. I've been here the longest, man. I've been waiting a whole decade. So I'm still here.